Friends, welcome. This day is sacred as we honor those who have gone before us. We honor the memory of the men and women of law enforcement who have made the ultimate sacrifice to show our support and solidarity to their families who have been called upon to bear a special burden in hopes that they will find comfort and peace. We so proclaim to recognize National Police Week 2018 and to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while proclaiming our communities and safeguarding our democracy. So far in 2018, 53. Last year, 135. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas the members of the law enforcement agency of the City of Scottsbluff play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the City of Scottsbluff, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the men and women of the law enforcement agency of the City of Scottsbluff unceasingly provide a vital public service. Now therefore, I call upon all citizens of the City of Scottsbluff and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 13th through the 19th, 2018 as Police Week with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all of our people may join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in doing so have established for themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. I further call upon the citizens of the City of Scottsbluff to observe Tuesday, May 15th, 2018 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty, and let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. It is my privilege to introduce someone that I look up to, that I pay attention to, and that I've learned a great deal from. He has stood with and been a great friend to public safety, dedicating much of his life to public service. The Honorable Mayor Randy Meininger.
Have a seat. What an awesome day. What a privilege and an honor to be able to talk with you today. Police Memorial Week. Thinking about the ones that have dedicated their lives and those that every day put their lives on the line for you and me. You know, John 15:13 says, "Greater love has no man than the one that lays down his life for another." I didn't say that. God said that. Over this last year, I had a son that was diagnosed with cancer. And I was willing and I wanted to trade places with him and praying to God, take my life and spare his. And as I'm preparing for today, I'm thinking, how selfish. How selfish. God healed my son. I didn't have to trade places with him. But oh, how selfish it was for me. Because you know what? As you think about your wife, your children, your relatives, it's pretty easy to make the statement, I'd give my life for them. But yet, as you look around in the crowd and you look at those that serve us every day in our law enforcement, in our 911 centers, our public safety, and you think about what they do day to day, and they are putting their lives on the line in front of you, in front of me. And you know what? They don't even know some of you. They don't know me. And yet they've taken that oath to stand in front of me and beside me. They made a decision before they ever took a paycheck, before they ever volunteered. They made a decision that they would give their life for someone else, not just a relative, but for me. We had 53 officers this last year that died in the line of duty. That's too many. And I often think every day about if only statements. Computers have a if then. If this happens, then it does this. We have a what if statement. An if only statement. If only I had answered that 911 call in the second ring instead of the third ring. If only I had had my vest on. If only I had taken the time to fill out that grant to be able to get better safety equipment. If only I would have paid attention going through that intersection and made sure that the intersection was clear before I went through it. If only I was 10 seconds faster. If only I knew the history of what was going on in that family and was able to intervene early. If only I had been there to be beside that person, their family wouldn't be mourning their loss. If only statements. And yet, if you could talk with the ones that have given their lives, they wouldn't have any regrets. They would have knowledge and information for us, but they would have no regrets because they knew the ultimate price for safety of our community and for our families was that one day they may have to give theirs. I honor you that stand before me and those that are behind me. I thank you for what you do day to day, and I thank you for not being selfish, as I was. I thank you for being diligent in working with your chain of command and your city councils and your commissioners, to let them know on a day-to-day basis not only what you do, but what you need to keep our communities safe. I think about high tech, high touch, and how if Scottsbluff County is going to survive in the future, we've got to have partnerships, we've got to have high tech, and we've got to be high touch. Today's world, we tend to lose the high touch part. We're getting the high tech. In fact, as we look for the law enforcement officers, we're working on e-tickets. Electronic, in their cars, everything comes up on the screen, automatically submits to the state. You know, that's a reactive for something that I've done bad or something that you've done bad because you broke the law. Now there's a penalty for that. That's high tech. High touch. I watch day to day. I watch officers get down on their knees beside a child and talk to them about safety. I watch firefighters work with the schools and the kids and learn not to burn. I watch EMS people, paramedics, work with people on the safety and to wear their seatbelts and to do things like that to keep them from getting injured. I look at the programs that have been put on of Coffee with a Cop. People, that's your high touch. Our officers are not there to be reactive. Our officers are there to be proactive in keeping our community safe, because that kid, that person that we need to mentor at that time of need, may divert that child, that individual, sometimes it's an adult, from doing something that they shouldn't be doing later on. If we're high touch, our community will be known, our community will grow, our community will prosper, our communities will be safe. People will know that when they're in our area, they have nothing to fear. They know they can walk outside at night and go down and get an ice cream cone, and it's okay. I had the privilege of going down right after the earthquake in Haiti, and thinking that whole week of the earthquake, how many of those, if they did have cell phones, there was no 911. They knew nobody was coming. They knew nobody was going to give up their life for them. They knew that if they couldn't get out on their own, they weren't going to get out. And yet in our community, you know that if something major happens tomorrow, our community will come together. Our public safety will be there. Our community will rise up. Our community will take care of each other. And when they dial 911, they know that somebody's coming. And they know that they're going to be taken care of. And they know that because of the quality of public safety that we have, that they're going to be able to spend more time with their family tomorrow. So again, my heartfelt thanks to those in uniform. My heartfelt sorrow for those that have lost your loved ones in the line of duty. Because what I want you to do is I want you to be an I am society. I am a law enforcement officer. I am a paramedic. I am a firefighter. I am a communications specialist. I am a dispatcher. I am well trained. I am going to take care of my community. I am going to be there when people need me. I am going to show up on time. I am going to be well trained. And I am willing to put my life in front of yours. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Brian Watson with the Scottsbluff Police Department. I will lead a group of men that will read names of those fallen in Scottsbluff County and beyond in Troop D. The first being Police Officer Albert W. Peterson. Officer Peterson made the ultimate sacrifice on April 25th, 1923, when he was shot and killed while attempting to arrest a suspect wanted for bootlegging in the city of Scottsbluff.
Good afternoon. Officer James Harvey Ray was a patrol officer for the City of Gearing Police Department. He gave his life for his community on August 7th, 1959.
Good morning. Corrections Officer Amanda Baker was killed in the line of duty while working as a corrections officer at the Scottsbluff County Detention Center on February 14th, 2014.
Trooper Loyal Zink, badge number 43, gave his life on June 14th, 1945 in an automobile accident pursuing a suspect west of Sydney. Trooper John Maestrel, badge number 67, appointed to the State Patrol in 1940, gave his life on April 10th, 1953 in an automobile accident just north of Fremont, Nebraska. Trooper Vernon Rolfs, badge number 129, was appointed to the State Patrol in 1950, gave his life on May 30th, 1953, when he was killed by gunfire after stopping a speeding motorist near North Platte, Nebraska. Trooper Marvin Hansen, badge number 98, gave his life in the line of duty on April 8th, 1954, when he was killed by gunfire after stopping a driver of a stolen car near Valentine, Nebraska. Trooper Dwayne Nichols, badge number 133, gave his life in the line of duty on July 24th, 1958, as a result of injuries sustained in an automobile accident involving a drunk driver near Waterloo, Nebraska. Trooper Raymond Korber, badge number 108, he gave his life in the line of duty on September 18th, 1961, in an automobile accident where he attempted to avoid colliding with a vehicle making an illegal U-turn near Plattsmouth, Nebraska. Trooper George Amos Jr., badge number 9, gave his life April 20th, 1973, when he was killed by gunfire after stopping a suspected drunk driver who turned out to be a fugitive. Trooper Michael Farber, badge number 427, he gave his life in the line of duty on August 24th, 1980, when he was struck by a car being pursued by fellow officers on Interstate 80 near Aurora, Nebraska. Trooper Robert Chabb, badge number 221, he gave his life in the line of duty January 6, 1984, when he was struck by a car while performing vehicle checks near Falls City, Nebraska. Trooper Donald Mashka, badge number 192, gave his life December 27, 1989, when he suffered cardiac arrest while subduing a suspect involved in domestic disturbance in Madison County, Nebraska. Trooper Mark Wagner, badge number 168, gave his life in the line of duty on March 4th, 1999, when he suffered an accidental gunshot wound during training in North Platte, Nebraska.
Order. Art. Read. Rip.
I'd like to close by expressing my honor and respect to everyone in public safety. The spirit of cooperation among public safety agencies in our area is unheard of. Valley Ambulance, Scottsbluff Fire, Gearing Fire, Scottsbluff Rural Fire, Gearing Police, Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office, Mitchell, Minutair, Morrow Police Departments, Nebraska State CERT Team, and Scottsbluff County Communications. And to the men and women of the Scottsbluff Police Department and your families, I commend you for all your sacrifices, the long hours, the worked holidays, and the missed family events. I am honored and proud to be among you. I thank you for all your hard work. That concludes our ceremony. I would invite everybody to stay here. The Scottsbluff Police Officers Association is making some hot dogs, and there should be refreshments up by the building, so you're more than welcome. Thank you.